My name is Jacob Sudol. I'm currently a Fulbright scholar teaching at National Chiao Tung University at the Institute of Music and the Sound and Music Innovative Technologies program. My home institute is Florida International University, which is in Miami, and there I'm an assistant professor teaching in the School of Music. My project was to teach students in both music technology and composition. A lot of my interest has been, as a composer, is to combine both music technology with computers. Often I always use computers to do live electronics of the instruments, live processing of the instruments, or to help me create the music I'm going to want to write. So the idea was to sort of teach this way here in Chiao Tung in Taiwan, because there's not so many people teaching this sort of program. So my teaching consisted of, I taught a composition seminar for master's students in the Institute of Music. I taught a class on contemporary techniques for students also in the graduate program at the Institute of Music. Some of the results, I think, was that a lot of this, I think I was introducing a lot of ideas and a lot of materials that students don't necessarily encounter here in Taiwan. One of the things that was most interesting was the ability to share a lot of music that many of these students hadn't heard of, as well as many different sort of ideas hadn't encountered before. For example, with the music technology course where I taught the undergraduates, most of the students came in having no idea what sort of music people were doing with electronics or what sort of computer music that people were doing. So for this course, I spent a lot of time looking at various foundational writings which go back almost 100 years to like writings by Luigi Russolo talking about trying to make music with noise, being inspired by the machine era, or John Cage, who was talking about, anything can be music, and we can deal with chants, we can deal with any sort of material, and that these ideas can transform not just our thinking about music, but also our thinking about visual art, our thinking about theater, our thinking about dance. And also a lot of fun just sort of introducing many different techniques to students. The laptop ensemble, for example, spent a lot of time exploring what is the actual definition of music and challenging sort of what people thought about what music might be. They might have come in with this very specific idea that music has to include, pitch, rhythm. And instead, I started off right at the beginning talking about ideas of timbre and talking about ideas of control and ideas of how computers can help us change and think about the way music exists and the way we can control and manipulate and work with sound. Likewise, with some of the composition students, many of them had never really encountered a lot of the sort of music that I was presenting. In the composition seminar that I taught, I decided to create a course which actually focused on probably about 30 to 40 different composers. And each class I was focused on a different subject, introducing many different types of music that most of these students had never encountered before. And a lot of times I found that the students were actually very excited by the music. And I think that this might inspire a lot of discussion that continues on in the future. I was a guest composer and also a technical director for the Taipei International Music Festival in the fall, which is one of the biggest festivals for new music here in Taiwan. And for this festival, I collaborated with multiple people here in Taiwan, as well as we brought over an ensemble from my institute, the Amrine String Quartet. And so we brought over and we shared a lot of American music, and at the same time we programmed a lot of Asian music. So my colleagues actually programmed music by Asian composers and multiple Taiwanese composers that they selected. I think it's something which tells us better about our relationship to each other. Supporting the arts and supporting arts education, I think, is absolutely crucial because it allows us to open our vision and have a much wider view on the world. And I feel that, by doing this, coming here for a Fulbright, I've been able to engage in dialogue with what people are doing in the creative arts here in Taiwan and music, and also part of the broader Asia. And it's been very valuable for me to understand what people are doing here and how that sort of relates to a bigger vision of the world. And I think that's something which is really, that taxpayers should feel. I think it helped build knowledge because I came here with a lot of understanding of music or having experience with music that many people here in Taiwan don't have. I think a lot of people might have actually found that some of the ideas I talked about and a lot of the materials I talked about, how technology can influence music, might actually speak really well to them and might actually be means by which they can better understand and express their own cultural understanding, their own personal understanding. And I don't sort of see that the Fulbright is just sort of something which starts here and then ends here. I see this as sort of, it's the beginning of multiple connections and collaborations between people I've met here in Taiwan, and I could see many different projects moving forward over the years.